Assets that you pass down to your kids could be subject to a divorce settlement, lawsuits, or creditors that they owe money to. So if you put your assets in a will and it has to go through the probate process, it will be public information what those assets are. They can figure out how much those assets are worth, and then they will see who those assets go to. And so if they have a lawsuit against them, or they owe money to someone, or they were going through a divorce settlement, those individuals in those scenarios will be able to access the assets you've passed down to them because you have passed those assets down to their personal name. And so now they're subject to being split up in those different scenarios. A way to get around this is to put your assets inside of a trust. It can be revocable or irrevocable. When you pass away and pass those assets down to them, they will have asset protection from your kids. And so you keep the assets inside of the trust and you don't allow them to touch the principal of those investments or the property itself, and just let them take distributions from those investments. So as an example, if you have an investment account you're passing down to your kids, you would keep the principal of that account inside of the trust and then only allow them to take distributions from the growth from those investments. Another one is going to be if you're passing a rental property down, you keep the rental property inside of the trust and only allow them to have cash flow distributions. That way, they're not able to touch the principal, and the lawsuit, divorces, and then creditors will not be able to access those assets because they are not in your kid's name and they are not able to access those assets and use them as collateral for any of these situations. If you want help setting this up and you use one of our trusts, your assets will avoid the probate process, or we will do probate for free. Click link in the bio, fill out the form, and schedule a time to talk to someone on our team.